Hello and welcome to Gals, Gays and Days. My name is Karen Moss and I am your lovely host. I'm so happy to be here. Welcome to episode 7 of Gals, Gays and Days. This is your one-stop shop for all things Gals, Gays and Days, LGBTQIA and female music. I'm so happy to be here today. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at g.g.t_show. You can follow us on TikTok at g.g.t_show. You can follow me, your wonderful host, dear listener, at Kehlani on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to get involved with the show, you can answer questions on my Instagram, on the show's Instagram, and also via our question form in the comments and in the show description. And on our Instagram, on our LinkTree, it's completely anonymous. You can ask absolutely anything from politics to mental health to relationships to friendships, literally anything. Nothing is off limits, babes. And yeah, that's kind of the whole spiel. Let's get stuck into today's episode. So this episode, I wanted to talk about all things breakups. So episode 7's theme is breakups, which obviously is like not really happy, but I wanted to kind of talk about different kinds of breakups. So not all the songs and tracks featured in today's episode are about love. They're about kind of different breakups that can be kind of life-changing, life moving on, relationships with family, love. There's typical breakup songs and there's stuff that maybe is a little bit different. I'm talking about artists that you might know. Maybe you'll discover some new ones today. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy the tracks I've picked today. I tried to pick tracks that I think are breakup songs that I feel are good for the soul. I must say, I haven't been through a breakup in a long time, but these are kind of songs that I also wish I had during my last very, very bad breakup, because these are just so incredible and they're all about kind of different things, you know, wallowing in the sadness, moving on, kind of retrospective. So I hope there's a song in here that hits for everyone today. And yeah, let's get stuck into track number 1. So when I was trying to pick track number 1, I was like, oh, what should I do? And I was like, let me do a new song that I discovered that I just think is so incredible. And that is Folded by Kehlani, who everyone knows. If you came out like post 2010, I'm telling you, you know exactly who Kehlani is. I like my women like I like my honey. That song was like going platinum in my room, I'll tell you that. And I used to also love, do you want to be a distraction, babe? I used to love that song too. I have to talk about this new track because, oh my God, when I tell you it's earwormed into me, I think it's going to be my top Spotify rap song of the year. Like, if it isn't, I'll be freaking shocked. I'll be shocked. So let's find out a little bit about Kehlani before we get stuck into the song. So she's from Oakland, California, and she originally achieved like initial fame as a member of the teen pop group Pop Life in 2011. Kehlani's debut mixtape was called Cloud 19, and it was listed as one of his Complex 50 best albums. It was followed up by You Should Be Here, which was in the Billboard 200. And that was nominated also for Best Urban Contemporary Album at the 58th Grammy Awards. Then they signed with Atlantic Records and then did the second studio album called Sweet Sexy Savage, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. And then third album, Blue Water Road in 2022. And then fourth album, 2024, which peaked at number 25 on the charts. And Kehlani's been singing for like a long time and had a very, very successful career. Like, what I think people love about Kehlani so much is they are so authentically themselves. They have talked about their struggles with prenatal depression, rape, sexual assault, just to name a few. And that authenticity and that rawness really serves them as an artist. It's what makes us as consumers, as listeners, love her, because they just bear their soul in a way that is comforting for anyone that's gone through similar things or that is just empathetic. Kehlani also is a queen and supports Palestine unabashedly. Kehlani's expressed solidarity with Palestine during the ongoing genocide on Instagram, and they voiced disapproval on celebrities that haven't been so vocal. They further demonstrated their support for Gaza in the Next to You music video, which opens with a poem by Palestinian American writer and has the Palestinian flag displayed in the background of the video. They are also a massive queer icon. In 2018, they spoke about their sexuality on Twitter, stating, I'm queer, not bi, not straight. I'm attracted to women, men, really attracted to queer people, attracted to queer men, non-binary people, intersex people, trans people, lil poly, pansexual. And then after that, during a live stream in early 2021, Kehlani announced that they are lesbian. And going back to what we were talking about on last week's episode, when we were talking about identity kind of changing, Kehlani's a great example of that. You know, their identity has become very fluid over the years, and it's taken them a while to come to the conclusion that they're lesbian. And that's kind of the beauty of being queer, right? It's like having the ways and the means to self-express and kind of go on that journey with your sexuality, which is absolutely beautiful. Kehlani also uses she and they pronouns. So if you see me this episode using she and they pronouns, that's because Kehlani is comfortable with both. And yeah, so they definitely have this kind of real connection to the queer community, being lesbian themselves and, you know, being such staunch supporter of the community, which absolutely is incredible. And we're going to talk about Kehlani's song Folded. Oh, this song is actually one of the most incredible tracks I've ever heard in my life. I just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's got this kind of really raw feeling. It was released on June 11th, 2025, and it was produced by Harris DK, The Punisher, Don Mills, and Riddick Tynes. And it's a song that should be on like fucking everyone's playlist. Like, it's so incredible. If you haven't listened to it, like, please go listen to it after this episode because it's just incredible. My favorite bit is the intro. It's the it opens with this like big string of, and it's basically the melody is basically in the strings, and it kind of allows for this like kind of grand opening. I really hope if she's releasing an album that this is the first song on the album, because I think it's such a great opener. And then it kind of kicks into this typical R&B beat. Folded received positive reviews by contemporary music critics. Robin Murray of The Clash called it sensual and alluring. Zach Horvath of Hot New Hip Hop said, not only is it well written and conveys proper emotions, the rhythm on it's infectious. The guitar melody hanging underneath the drums adds a sensual element that takes things up a notch. Of course, the vocals are buttery smooth, making this a complete record overall. And I could not agree more. I think what I love about this track so much is that it's got this like big feeling, but the song and the lyrics are just so true and amazing. And I love the guitar, which is and it like reflects the melody in such a fucking cool way. I'm a big fan. It comes from my classical background, would you believe or not, of like themes. I really love the song when it's got like a strong theme that kind of repeats all throughout, because it really ties the song together in general. And yes, her vocals are, as always, freaking amazing. I absolutely love them. The first time I heard this song was like in my car, which is always like a good place to hear a song for the first time. I always think, you know, like listening to that can be just such a like gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous experience, because you have this kind of raw kind of way of sitting with the song itself, and it was just incredible. And I'm going to talk about some of the lyrics that I love, because that's honestly where this song absolutely shines. So the first verse, it's so silly of me to act like I don't need you back. So this song in general is about a lover, well, Kehlani talking to a lover, being like, we're breaking up, but I've got your clothes, please come pick them up. And she's talking about being folded. And I think that the clothes being folded, but that has a double meaning, right? Like, it means I'm folding for you in the sense of I still love you and I could fold for you and we could maybe work this out, but also like I'm not going to fold for you as well. And it has this kind of like double meaning. And so we'll quick start with like the lyrics that I love. So it's so silly of me to act like I don't need you back, which I love, right? Like, it's so honest and raw. Like, it's stupid for me to say to you that like I don't need you back, because I obviously do. I love you. I still love you, right? And then when all I can think about is us since I've seen you last. Like I love you. I'm still thinking about you. And this is the line I love the most. I know I didn't have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way when I told you to fall back. So there's this kind of meaning of like taking accountability, like Kehlani's taking accountability, being like, I know that I shouldn't have asked you to walk away. Really, I should have asked you for space, and kind of that feeling of maybe I've made the wrong decision. And then we go bursting into the chorus, which has like a bigger timbre, and the chorus is just gorgeous in the song. So the lyrics are, so you can come pick up your clothes, I have them folded, meet me at the door while it's still open. So that's also a double meaning, right? So meet me at the door while it's still open is talking about like meet me halfway, let's talk about this, which I always love with a song where it's like, we can talk about this, maybe we can work this out. And like this kind of song, like the clothes are like the premise, like come pick them up, they're folded, and maybe I can fold for you and you can fold for me. And then I know it's getting cold, but it's not frozen, meaning that the relationship isn't frozen, it isn't done completely, the door's still open, it's still thawing in fact. And then the post chorus, which is the most addictive bit of melody, it's like I'll let your body decide, and it's like da 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 da, and that will get stuck in your fucking head. It's got this like kind of like almost like repetitive, like almost falling, which reflects the lyrics. So I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you, already folding it for you, already folding up for you. So it's kind of saying folding the clothes, folding up for you. And I never know if this is about whether I'm folding up the relationship, maybe I'm closing myself up, or I'm already folding back for you because I love you so much. And I'll let your body decide. I'll let instinct take hold. I always think that means. And then we have like verse 2, which kind of picks up in rhythm, and the kind of singing and the lyrics kind of pick up pace. So I don't need no empty promises, promise me that you got it. I don't need roses, just need some flowers from my garden. Which I always think is, I don't need your like expensive acts of kindness. I just need some from also my self-love. And I think this song has that very like conflicted feeling between of folding for someone, but also folding in love with someone, and kind of whether we are going for falling back in love or whether we're going to just decide that this is it and it's best to leave it. And in this part of the song, Kehlani's in that very, very like weird position of, you know, when you break up with someone and you're not sure whether the relationship will continue or whether you should probably end it. And you're in that weird bit where you're not over them yet. You're still kind of in love with them, right? And it's such a weird place to be in. And the last time I was in this place fucking sucked. And I did end up folding back again, which I would not recommend doing. But, you know, at that time, like I had that weird sense. And then later on, when we like really called it off properly, like this feeling of folding wasn't there anymore, because I was like, I don't want to fold anymore. But before, like I very much like, if this song had been out at that time, I would have related to it so hard, because I was in that weird space of like the protagonist of the song, like, do I fold back into you, or do I actually give myself self-worth? And it's a really sticky point to be in. And dear listener, if you've ever been in that place, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you understand this song, like it's so hard. And then I love this lyric, can't you go back to how you loved me on me when we started? I'll be here begging for you, should be giving me love. And that's like a really beautiful thing. It's saying like, what have we lost? Like, can't we go back to that beginning part when it was so easy and when we were so out of problems? And I think that's a lot of what a lot of couples face, right? Like that's really normal. And then we go back into the chorus, and she's talking about the clothes. And oh my God, the vocals in this bit. So she has this beautiful, when she's singing meet me at the door, it's like and she changes the melody ever so slightly. I'm not going to sing it for you because it will be atrocious, but and it allows this beautiful belt, and where they're able to show off their vocals in a fucking incredible way, and you almost feel like this pleading and this understanding. And yeah, I just absolutely love this song. I think it absolutely slaps and eats every single time. The reason why I put this song on this episode is honestly because I think it represents that middle stage of a breakup where you've just come out of it. You're not like crying about it all the time, but there's still an opening about coming back into your life. And I think that's so beautiful and like such a real thing that everyone goes through. And I think this song is also enjoyable without a breakup, because this song is incredible. And unlike a lot of breakup songs where it's really, really sad, it's more about kind of like, I love you. Why can't we, like, I wish we could go back and be us again, but I'm not sure whether we can. And yeah, this song should be on everyone's playlist. It's so incredible. And I really hope this album, if she's making an album, is incredible, because this song is just stunning. And yeah, let's go on to our next track. So the next track I decided to pick is, I don't think necessarily a breakup song, but it's definitely about relationships ending and coming out of something. And this is David by Lorde, which is my favorite song on Virgin. Oh my God, what a standout album. I will definitely do another episode on that album itself, because it's just absolutely incredible. I've always been a big Lorde fan. I mean, I've listened to Lorde, well, really since the beginning. I even sung Royals as part of my school singing competition audition, and yes, it was about as shit as you can flipping imagine. Ziggy, get away from the mic. But it was just incredible, and Lord see me through pretty much every part of my life. I just love her. So I don't think this song is necessarily about a breakup, but I think it's also about like intense change, and that's why I wanted it in here. So this song was released on the 27th of June when Virgin was released, which is Lord's latest album. I love this album. Do you know what? It's like the perfect album. It's like a doable length. You can actually listen to it in one go, which is absolutely incredible. I love an album that you can listen in one go. I think it's like so enjoyable. So let's talk a little bit about Lorde. So Lorde was born on the 7th of November 1996 in New Zealand. By the way, for the longest time, I thought Lorde was English. Don't know who sold me that lie. Don't know why I thought they were English. She doesn't even sound English, but I just thought she was British. And she is known for her unconventional style of pop, which is pretty accurate, and also her beautiful introspective songwriting. Her songs are really personal and raw, and it's what sells Lorde's music. And you can definitely see that development in her work as she gets older. Her songs become more about herself. I mean, Virgin is such a like beautiful self album, and it's why everyone freaking loves it. Lorde first gained recognition as a teenager during a talent show performance, and then she signed with Universal Music Group in 2009 and been making music really ever since. So the first EP was titled The Love Club, and then it was commercially released in 2013 with the EP singles Royals literally overtaking by a storm, and spent 9 weeks at number one on the Billboard 100. That is crazy. Okay, for your first EP to have a song that was on Billboard Hot 100 for 9 weeks. Like, that is absolutely insane. And then became one of the best-selling singles of all time. Her debut studio album Pure Heroin was released that same year to critical, commercial, and success. I mean, everyone loves Lorde. How many people have you met that freaking love the song Ribs? Like literally everyone. I don't know anyone who doesn't like that song. She grew up in New Zealand, and she actually holds dual citizenship between New Zealand and Croatia, which I think is really, really cool. The albums she has released is Pure Heroin in 2013, Melodrama, which is so freaking good. That's where Green Light's from. incredible song. Solar Power, which I don't know why everyone shout on that album. It was so good, so unique. Like, do you know what? Like, I do believe that if she brought out Solar Power now, I think people would be more receptive to it, because I think music's kind of moved on. Like, being a bit more individual and conceptual is definitely more normal now, which is like an amazing part of music kind of changing, which is incredible. And then Virgin, which was released in 2025. Lorde talks about her experience with gender in this album, with Man of the Year, and that kind of is echoed again later in this song in David. She calls back to Man of the Year. So David is the last song on the album, which I think the closing song is always so important. And I think David is a great closing song because it's about leaving, changing, breakups. Like, it's about that. And this song is incredibly stripped back. Like, it really is just vocals and very, very, very little accompaniment, which I think allows for the lyrics and the meaning of the song to kind of really shine through. This song is incredible and incredibly introspective. It's incredibly kind of conversational with oneself. It really feels like you're reading someone's journal entry, like the way that she's having this conversation with herself, but also other people, reflecting on her younger self and her life before. The chorus kind of builds a little bit more, and we kind of have this more like just like kind of emotionally charged moment. So in the chorus, she allows herself to just kind of spill out more. It's definitely, it builds. Her verses are much more introspective and asking questions. And the song just breaks my heart. I've seen so many edits to this song as well, which just breaks my little freaking heart. Like, some of the edits I've seen, I saw one of Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell's character and Timothy's character, and my heart broke. Like, I was just like, I can't. This song is just incredible, and like that outro bit is just, oh my god, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's just so incredible. And we're going to talk about the lyrics, because as always, like, that's just what sells this song. Like, this song has incredible like accompaniment and incredible sound, but what sells the song so beautifully is the lyrics, right? So the beginning of the song starts like this: "Oh dark day, was I just someone to dominate? Worthy opponent, flint to my blade. Now we're playing with shadows. At the sunset tower you said, open your mouth. I did." And this kind of, I think, is talking to her younger self. Was I just someone to dominate? Were you just there to dominate me, take me over? And I think that can probably have two double meanings, right? It can probably mean romantically, and it can also probably mean career-wise, because she started extremely young, and I think that meant she got thrown into rooms that maybe she wasn't supposed to be in yet, because the music industry is notoriously, has lots of terrible things that go on in it. And I think she was probably exposed to lots of stuff that she probably shouldn't have been. And was I just someone to dominate? Were you there to really love me, or were you there just to like dominate me, have power? And people say that this song is called David after David and Goliath, and I don't really know too much whether that is true, but I think that is an interesting take in general, because David and Goliath is about a miracle between mismatched opponents. So David, the young shepherd, defeats Goliath, a giant Philistine warrior, with nothing but a sling and a stone. And so that's kind of the sense of what's going on in this song. So I don't know, maybe Lorde like identifies with David, young and vulnerable, in difference to the dominant Goliath, whoever this person is. Someone said that it might be an allusion to Justin Warren, Universal Music promoter, 17 years her senior, that she allegedly began seeing when she was a teenager. So that kind of like power imbalance when she was younger. So this can be about that. It can also be about the music industry, and kind of relating to being much smaller, and maybe that she was, was like, I can't overtake this person because they're in a position of power, and also they are older than me, right? One of my favorite lines of the song: "If I had virginity, I would have given that too." This sense of like, maybe with this partner, she was willing to give absolutely anything, even if she no longer had it. And I think that's so raw. I mean, like, being that connected to someone, you want to give them that part of yourself. I also think that can be interpreted as kind of I would give all my first to you. I would do all that over and over again. And then the chorus comes in, which is absolutely incredible. Why do we run to the ones we do? I don't belong to anyone. And I think it poses the question, why do we run to the ones we do? And I think it's that kind of like questioning in general, really, about kind of why do we do it to the listener, to herself? Why do we go back to people who maybe aren't the best for us, even during a hard time, you know? And like, I think so many people in a breakup can relate to that, right? Like going back to someone that is just terribly bad for you, but they make you feel seen or you love them. And definitely, this is why I think this song like deserves itself in a breakup song, because it's retrospective, it's understanding of oneself, right? Like it's understanding that we can have that feeling of like, why do we do this? But also understanding that we do this because we love someone. And I've been there, dear listener. Of course, I have, going back to someone who maybe isn't great for you. But at the time, it feels like the best thing you could do for yourself, or comfort, you know? And then I don't belong to anyone. And that's what I love about the song. And that's why I think it cements itself as a breakup song, because a breakup is basically letting go and being independent and being in oneself, right? So I don't belong to anyone. And I think within that is sadness, but also freedom. I don't belong to anyone. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then verse 2 goes on, "Oh dark day, was I just young blood to get on tape? Cause you dimed out when it got hard. Uppercut to the throat, I was off guard. Pure harassment mistaken for featherweight." This, oh my God, this part of the song is just absolutely like diabolically sad. She references her debut album, Pure Heroin, using it as a metaphor for her own strength and identity. Like, you know, she has been underestimated by the public, by relationships, by maybe record producers. And it's going back to again to that David and Goliath thing of, you know, people saw me as weak, but I am so powerful. I'm incredible. I can do this. And I love that. And also, was I just young blood to get on tape? I think that's talking about her early relationship in music with Justin Warren, and kind of about, was I just young, and did they just use me? And I think that beautiful retrospectiveness is because she's thinking about what you can't see when you're younger. And I also think this is a great song to listen to if you're analyzing old relationships, because it really helps you look at those old relationships or toxic relationships differently. Like, I think, dear listener, if you've gone through that, maybe you can use that song to kind of be like, oh my God, like I can kind of see kind of retrospectively how that was so awful, but I didn't understand that at the time. And then it goes to the pre-chorus, "But what came spilling out that day was the truth. And once I could sing again, I swore I'd never let myself sing again for you." And there's these beautiful oh-wohs, and it's this kind of almost guttural letting out, and it's so beautiful. And something that I love so much about this song is that she just completely lets go in this part, and I just absolutely love it. And I think talking also about her career, that when she sing again, she'd sing again for her. And when she's saying, when I could sing again, when I've gone through all my shit, I'm going to sing again for me. And that's what this album is in general. Virgin is such an album of oneself, and I think that's why it's so beautiful. And then the chorus comes back, but in this kind of more full force, guttural, more kind of like honest. And it honestly, like when I listen to this part of the song, I'll get choked up. It like, oh my God, makes me want to cry, because the way that she just lets go is just something so beautiful and guttural and just incredible. And my favorite line, I lie, my last line wasn't my favorite. "I made you God because it was all that I knew how to do." That lyric gets me right here. As someone who's maybe been in relationships where I place that person above everything else, you know, making someone God, making them this person that I absolutely put on a pedestal, and then coming out of something, you know, is like, oh my God. And as someone who values people, is a massive empath, in any relationship, I put them as God. I've been trying to get out of that habit. But when I was younger, in my very early 20s, yeah, like I would make that person God. Anyone I was like dating, I just couldn't help but like think they were better than me. And then again, I think calls back again to David and Goliath. And then to the best bit of the song, which is the outro. Am I ever gonna love again? Am I ever gonna love again? Then will you ever feel like a friend? Am I ever gonna love again? Do you understand? Tell it to him. And I think that outro is where the song shines, and it has this beautiful pleading to this person being like, I love you. I am I ever going to love again the way I loved you? Am I ever going to be okay again? And I think this bit, Lorde is being retrospective, kind of thinking back and being like, am I ever going to love again? And then, will you ever feel like a friend? I think if you're going through a breakup, you will probably understand that. Like, will you ever just be like just someone who was part of my life? Will you ever just be a friend, or will you always be that lover that absolutely turned my heart inside out and stomped on it? This is definitely a breakup song for any intense relationship, not a relationship that ends because it needs to end, I think. And yeah, and that outro is what cemented this as like, I think, the perfect breakup song. And the reason why I included this song in here is honestly because I think it's the perfect understanding introspective song about relationships that maybe were really hard and toxic, and also relationship with oneself, kind of how it changes. I think this song, like many songs, is a breakup between one's old self and now, and also someone's romantic relationship. And yeah, if you haven't heard this song, please go listen to it and go watch the edits on TikTok. Please. There are so many good ones. And yeah, just like absolutely an incredible song. And I hope, dear listener, that if you're going through a toxic relationship or you've been through one, this song might provide you some catharsis. So this brings us on to our artist of the week. Which I'm so excited to be talking about today. Now, when I was thinking about what artists I wanted to do, I was like, should I just do someone basic? I was thinking like, should I do Somber? Because like that man is like the king of breakups. Like he only produces breakup songs. But I was like, no, let me do a queen I absolutely love. And she's written about all types of love. And that is the wonderful Kacey Musgraves. I love her. Her feature on Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, American Sweetheart, absolutely like tickled me because I absolutely freaking love her. She is a queer ally. Her music has tackled topics such as LGBT acceptance, safe sexual intercourse, recreational use of marijuana, and questioning religious sentiment. And in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Musgraves talked about criticism, and she said, I think throwing the rebel card out there is really cheap. The things I'm singing about are not controversial to me. I don't push buttons to push buttons. I talk about things that have made an impression on me that a lot of people everywhere are going through. And that's why I think queer people love her so much, because she's an ally. She talks about that in Follow Your Arrow, which is one of her most earliest songs. She talks about kind of just accepting people being queer, and that's just cool. And she comes from like Texas, so like it's an incredible thing to do that, and she's just always been amazing. Kacey Musgraves was born on August 21st of 1988 in Garland, Texas, to Karen, an artist, and Craig Musgraves. And Kacey Musgraves started writing songs at age 8. Her first song, Notice Me, was her elementary school graduation. Her major label debut album, Same Trailer, Different Park, was produced and co-written by Musgraves and Shay McAlney and Luke Layard, and released on March 19th. And the debut album debuted at number 2, which is incredible. And it produced many hit singles, Blowing Your Smoke, and my favorite, which is Follow Your Arrow, which is so like allyship. I love it so much. And it was named number 39 on the 100 greatest country songs of all time by Rolling Stone, which is fucking incredible for a debut album. Just amazing. And she was one of the loudest symbols of young country musicians just embracing progressive values, because you've got to remember that was rare at some point in the country music. And then Pageant Material was Musgrave's second studio album, which was released on June 23rd in 2015. 2015. And on December 12th, 2017, Musgraves announced the title of her third studio album, which is called Golden Hour. And this is the album that sent her into being a household name. You might know the songs Butterflies and Space Cowboy. My favorite song on this album is High Horse, and she premiered High Horse, her third song from the album, on March 22nd, 2018, on Zane Lowe's Beats One Apple Radio show, which is really good. That's the only thing that I want to have Apple Music for. And then on March 29th, she performed Slow Burn on the Stephen Colbert Late Show. And then February 2019, this album landed her Album of the Year on the 61st Annual Grammy Awards. And I remember like watching that and listening to the album and just being like so enthralled by her. And it is an incredible album. If you haven't listened to it, I really recommend you go. It's loved by a lot of queer people. Like a lot of queer people love this album, and it's just incredible. It's a very like lover album. It's a very honeymoon album, and that is honestly what shot her into mainstream fame. Now then, after that, we come to her album where our song of the week, one of our songs of the week, are going to come from, and that is Star-Crossed, and it's a fifth studio album by Kacey Musgraves. It was released on September 10th in 2021 by MCA Nashville and Interscope Records, and it was written with Ian Fitchuk and Daniel Tushane, with also who she collaborated with, Golden Hour. So her long, great writing buddies. And this album was considered by many to be her divorce album, which is pretty accurate because she did actually get divorced. She got divorced from Rushton Kelly. She often describes like this album as being her divorce album and Golden Hour as being her lover honeymoon album. And in an interview with Zane Lowe, she talks about how, you know, it was really difficult for her to originally like even think about Golden Hour because it was such a album that was like intrinsically linked with her her first marriage. And I just think like I was like, that's a really like hard thing. And she said like these songs can exist and have meaning and you can relate to it later. So she was like, now I can understand that work more and recontextualize it then when we were going through a divorce. This album is was described as a modern tragedy, and it took influences from Romeo and Juliet, hence the name Star-Crossed. And it has this like beautiful like sadness to it, and it almost has like three acts like a play does, which is absolutely incredible. Some of the inspirations for this album is Bill Withers, Daft Punk, Sade, Eagles, Weezer. So it's a pop record, but it definitely has elements of folk. So this kind of has like a different sound to maybe than Golden Hour. This album talks about lots of different things: marriage, divorce, post-breakup, and emotional healing. And yeah, I think it's like a really different sounding record. She said for NPR, she said, I think it's interesting that we're all taught that the success of a relationship has somehow correlated with the length of it, that it could be a friendship, a business relationship, a marriage, or whatever. I just don't think that that's fully accurate. You can easily say this album is a post-divorce album, which yes, it factually on paper is, but this album is full of a lot of love, gratitude for that person, for Rushton, for my life, and my ability to explore all the emotions as a songwriter. And I think that's definitely true. Like this album in general is not like he's my ex-husband and I fucking hate him. Like it's definitely not that, but it's also like explores the complexities of love and relationships, and that's why I wanted to include it in this in this week's episode. And our first track by her is Breadwinner, which is track 8 on the album, and it's kind of in the second act of this album. And oh my god, I loved it. This is the song that I heard first from this album, and I wish that I'd been like a lead single because it's just so incredible. It's got a kind of stripped back beginning, which kind of also again allows the lyrics to kind of stand out, and then it builds to a really like upbeat chorus, which you could definitely dance to. Whereas like I remember I used to dance to this song even though like the lyrics are kind of sad, but like just incredible. And I think this like dichotomy between like the lyrics and the upbeat sound is kind of a reflection of her relationship between like kind of how she was going through this like immense amount of fame and accolades, and that was causing friction in her relationship. So she kind of like plays on breadwinner in this album. So if you don't know what breadwinner is, breadwinner basically means like the person that's having all the money in the relationship, and traditionally that was linked to a man, but she's the breadwinner in the relationship. She's more successful than Rushton, and that kind of created like a friction between their marriage. And the reason I put this in this week's episode for breakup songs is because it's kind of more of like a kind of, he was being a really annoying man, and the way that men, if you're a woman listening to this, you'll understand what I mean. A lot of men can't handle women's success. We've seen it on like all the time. We see it on artists, we see it on, you know, musicians, we see, you know, how male, especially like men, can't deal with women being successful because it makes them uncomfortable. Let's talk about some lyrics that I love. So here's what he'll do. He'll play it cool when he hangs out with a woman like you. Say he ain't pressed by all your success, tell he's different from all of the rest. So he'll be like, yeah, I'm totally cool with successful women. I love a powerful woman. In fact, he feels emasculated. You're going to give it all and give it all, but you won't get it back. I'm telling you, it's going to hurt. Stay away from a boy like that. And this song very much feels like her talking to other women. So you're going to give it all, you're going to give it all, and you won't get it back. So you're going to give all this love, all this attention to this person, and you're not going to get any of that. Stay away from a boy like that. He ain't worth your time. And then the chorus where this song really shines. He wants a breadwinner. He wants your dinner until he ain't hungry anymore. So she kind of has this extended metaphor throughout the song of bread and food and winning. He wants your dinner, he wants your money, your success, until he ain't hungry anymore, until he's just had enough. And I think that's true. Like, men want a powerful woman until it affects them. They like the idea of a powerful woman. It's like when a man says to you, I love that you're like feisty, I love that you're of oneself, but really they like that to a certain point. And then he's never going to know what to do with a woman like you. And I think that means, like, you know, he's just never going to be able to cope with you, and that's not to do with you, that's to do with him and him being insecure. And then we go to my favorite bit, which is the bridge. I can sleep at night knowing I really tried. I put in the time, but the fault isn't mine, which is lovely. She's basically saying to her ex-husband, I can sleep at night. I know that I put the best into this relationship, knowing that I gave my all to you, but the fault isn't mine, it's with you, because you can't deal with me being the breadwinner, being successful, and that's on you. And this song has a really lovely fade out of the chorus, which I just absolutely love. It has like this really like beautiful kind of upbeat sound, and I just love it. And I love the music video for this song. It's like all these women singing and kind of her documenting like different parts of her album making process. And I think that just hits because she's a successful artist talking about her her new creation, kind of talking about how this man could not handle this. I think that like this was for like anyone who's maybe been treated badly in their last relationship. And whilst the song isn't really sad, it's more of just a retrospective look of like, this is how men treat women, and this is how he treated me, and you don't need to be treated like that. He's going to take, like, you know, beware of a man that basically says that they love a powerful woman, but really they don't love a powerful woman. They love a powerful woman that is palatable to them. And it's also one of my favorite songs by Kacey Musgraves. Like, I think it's an incredible song, and I think she just absolutely like shines through with her lyricism, and also like shows that she's a diverse artist because she can make something that's so upbeat. And that dichotomy of like upbeat and success, but also talking about something that's really, really difficult, is just kind of beautiful and amazing. Now we're going on to the next song, which is from her new album called Deeper Well, which was released on March 15th, 2024. Musgrave teased this project on February 4th, which is the day after my birthday in 2024, during the 66 Grammy Awards commercial titled My Saturn Has Returned, which is the first lyric of the song we're going to talk about. Deeper Well is described as a country folk and soft rock album, and it was produced by the same producers from her last album. She recorded this at Electric Lady Studios in New York, which she says has the best mojo, and she wanted a different environment from Nashville to record this song. And you can watch the recording of this album on YouTube, which is so beautiful, and I really recommend watching it. This album is about moving and healing and moving on, and that's why we feature the title track in this episode, because it's about that healing part of a breakup, which I think is one of the most important parts of a breakup. And yeah, this album in general is about settling into adulthood. It's about finding deeper meaning and leaving bad influence in the past. In a statement, Musgraves says this song was about sometimes you reach a crossroads, winds change direction. What once you felt drawn to doesn't hold the same allure. You get blown off course, but eventually you find your footing, forage new inspiration, new insight, and a deeper love somewhere else. And that's really what this song and this album in general is about. That brings us on to why I picked the song Deeper Well, which is the second track on the album and the title track of the album, which I absolutely love. It's all about like moving on, moving forward, exactly what this album is about, like I've just stated. And it's an incredibly like stripped back song. And I blubbed like a baby when this came on Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders in the last scene when they're taking off their makeup. I just cried. I cried and cried and cried. Like I just thought, like, yeah, like this song is about moving on. And honestly, if you haven't seen DCC American Sweethearts, you got to watch it because it's just incredible. And our girl Kacey makes an appearance. So the reason I wanted to put Deeper Well is because the song is really about moving on, and it's an incredibly like stripped back song. It kind of talks about different things. It doesn't just talk about love. It just starts with like this beautiful, gorgeous guitar, like plucking, and then goes into kind of more like chords, and then it builds up into the chorus. This song kind of poses like, it basically talks about a situation and talks about moving on from it, being like, you know, I love this, but like now we're just moving on. I found a deeper well. I found something more. Deeper well to me means like finding something more. And my favorite bit about the song as well is these gorgeous little twinkles. They kind of allude to that kind of outer space satiny feel in a really gorgeous way. Where this song really shines again are the lyrics, and I think with like all breakup songs, the lyrics are always what shine. They always are what sends the song into this like beautiful space. So the song opens with, my Saturn has returned. When I turned 27, everything started to change. It took a time, but I learned there's two kinds of people. One is a giver and one's always trying to take all they can take. And I think this song is talking about love, right? It's talking about previous relationships. We just talked about Breadwinner, and like this kind of relationship between someone taking and you giving a part of yourself to them. And then the chorus responds to that situation and goes, so I'm saying goodbye to the people that feel are really good wasting my time. No regrets, baby. I just think that maybe you go your way and I'll go mine. And that's why I put this song in the breakup episode, because you come to a lot of breakups at the end where it's like, actually, I loved you. I don't hate you. I just need to leave. And that's just part of life. And I think this song is so about that beautiful transitional change period in your life where something's ended, but it's kind of okay now. Like you're healed from it and we're just moving on. And I just absolutely love that. And then it also talks about breaking up with drugs, right? And that kind of stopping using weed. She goes, I used to wake and bake, roll out of bed, hit the gravity bong that I made, and start the day. For a while, it got me by. Everything I did seemed better when I was high. I don't know why. And that's like really honest. Like the I don't know why is an incredibly honest piece, right? Like she's just kind of having this conversation with oneself. And I think it's beautiful. So, and then the chorus response to this problem going, so I'm getting rid of the habits that I feel are real good at wasting my time. And then the same thing, no regrets, baby. I just think that's maybe it's natural when things lose their shine so other things can glow. And I think that's a beautiful thing, right? Breaking up with anything, breaking up a relationship, breaking up with a friendship, going sober, breaking up with alcohol, with drugs, like this kind of like leaving something behind. It it doesn't mean that I regret doing that or whatever. It just means that I'm getting rid of it so something else can glow and grow in its place. And that's what I love about the song. It's more about I'm getting rid of something so that something new can be born. And basically, the whole reference to Saturn is about how apparently when we turn 27, our Saturn goes back to where it was when we were born, and we have this kind of epiphany. I'll let you know when I'm 27 if that does happen to me. It kind of makes sense because I feel like a lot of people change when they're 27 actually. And yeah, I just love this song, and I love the kind of beautifully stripped back, matter of fact feeling on this song. It's kind of this like beautiful, honest, stripped back, real and raw. And I put this song on the breakup playlist because it's mostly about change, and breakups are about change. They're about changing the person you love, changing who you're with, changing that scenario, and breaking up with life, breaking up with relationships, moving somewhere new. This song I've sobbed to so many times. Even now, like thinking about it, like gets me really choked up because it's just a song that I think anyone who's in their 20s, in their 30s, who are just kind of discovering adult life just really understands. And yeah, it's just incredibly, incredibly beautiful. And I think Kacey is able to capture life and human relation in such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous way, in a way that I don't think lots of people can. And yeah, I just absolutely love her, and I love this album as well in general. I think the other song I love on this that's really worth a listen if you don't want to listen to the whole thing is on the deluxe. It's called Flower Child, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful song, and it echoes the same kind of sentiment of this song of like you're kind of just living your life, and that's the most beautiful thing you can do. And I just love the aesthetic of this album also in general. And fun fact, her sister shot her photos on the album, which I just think is so, 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 so gorgeous and lovely. So yeah, that was Kacey Musgraves, our artist of the week. So before we go on to our last song, I want to talk about some of the songs that you lovely listeners suggested for me as breakup songs. Now, of course, I will not be exposing who sent these because we don't do that on this show. So someone said To Love Someone Else by Avery Lynch, Stayed Strangers by Abigail Barlow, and All Too Well 10-minute version. Yeah, those songs are always on my list. And All Too Well 10-minute version actually came out during like the worst situationship I've ever been in. And I used to drive my car around and just listen to that song and cry. I know I was going through it at the time, but I'm really glad I really got to appreciate for that song what it was. And someone else said Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac, the ultimate breakup song, I think. Oh, that song is like literally just like relationship 101. I was into it in the car today when I was picking up my grandma, and I was like actually like, oh, my favorite bit is and does she love you? Oh, I don't want to know. Like so real, right? Like if you've ever been in a relationship with someone, you're like oh, like does she love you like I can? Actually, I don't want to know. It's always like that kind of like weird intrigue between you and your partner and their ex, or like that kind of like weird thing of like I want to know about them, but also I don't want to know because I don't want to believe that you could love or loved someone else. Sparks by Coldplay, which have you seen that video of Chris Martin singing after Dakota Johnson? They've broken up. Like honestly, just like what make me want to cry. Someone said Stay Away by Muna, such a good song, and also said All Too Well Again, and then Night Shift by Lucy Dacus. Do I need to like hold intervention with my listeners because that is a sad list of songs? Someone said ABCDEFU by Gail. That's more like it, guys. That's a bit more like, fuck you and your ex, which, I love crying, but like we do also need to have some fuck you songs. And also someone else said Fuck You by Lily Allen, which I also think is like a great breakup song. Fun fact, my boyfriend got told off by his mum for saying that song because he was very young, wasn't allowed to swear, which I think is super sweet. Someone also said Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell, heartbreaking song. I love that song with all my heart. I think that song is so indicative about love. Hard Feelings by Lorde. Again, Lorde pulling us through with the breakup songs. Older by C Rose. Now that song is fucking devastating, I'll tell you that. I listened to this after the sister suggested it, and I literally was wailing, and my mum was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, just listen to a really sad song. She's like, you're not even going through a breakup. I was like, I know. So You Are Tired by I can never say this artist's name. Sufjan Stevens. Fucking love that song. Also, he just always produces the most fucking butt hurt sad songs. Like, boy, who hurt you? And I Saw You by Fred Again. Like, oh my god, Fred Again actually releases some really fucking sad ass bangers. I think it's that kind of like more like kind of stripped back kind of electronic sound allows for this like weird sense of sadness. And this listener said, I just adore sad music, which is like so me coded. Like, I love a good sad song. A lot of my songs are sad. I'm writing a book right now, which is like after a breakup and they get back together, and I've been listening to so much sad music, and like honestly it's made me depresso espresso sometimes. By the way, I want to include like one of my favorite breakup songs, which is Forget Her by Jeff Buckley, and another Jeff Buckley classic, Lover You Should Come Over. That song is literally top 10 songs. I don't even care, I'm putting this out there, you heard it here first. Top 10 songs for me. Just amazing. Thank you, listeners, for responding to my Instagram story. I loved hearing those, and they will be going on this week's playlist because you guys talked about them, so they'll be on the playlist as well. So thank you so much, dear listeners. If you want to get involved, answer the questions on the Instagram, and also ask us questions on our form, which you can find in the LinkTree and also in the description below. So we're on our final song today, which is maybe something new for you. This is Lily Moore, and the song I decided to pick is called Lying to Yourself. This song is just so incredible. It's really reminiscent, I think, of like kind of that 2010s Duffy, Amy Winehouse kind of jazz sound. It's so beautiful. Lily Moore has like the most unique voice, like such unique voice. Like, it's kind of like if Amy Winehouse and Duffy had a baby. She's got that kind of unique tone that Duffy has. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, I can't even describe what I mean, but yeah, just incredible. And she was born in London, raised in Brighton, and she developed an early taste for soulful music. She loves Etta James, Lauryn Hill, Sam Cooke, and her songwriting has developed into kind of a stripped back style that kind of calls back again to Amy Winehouse. And I can really hear that, like, if you listen to her work, like, it really does call back to like Amy Winehouse. Like, I just can't describe it. Like, you listen to that and you feel like you're listening to like something like deep track from Frank. Like, honestly, it's insane. And her music is just full of soul. She's also like an incredibly person. When she moved to London in 2017, she started something called More Club Nights, creating a safe space, inclusive space for people to let their guard down, enjoy music without judgment. And yeah, and it was just like a really like safe space for people. It evolved into Girl Gang last year and sold out the first show, and it was a collaboration with Strut Safe. So the track I decided to pick is called Lying to Yourself, and it's from her debut album called Not That Special, which was released back in 25th of April 2018. So this isn't her most recent music, but it's just such an incredible song. She started to find her singing voice at a really early age, and she sung all the time. And that really shines in this song because like you could just tell that she's just been a singer for a long time and that she's absolutely just slaying the game when it comes to like her vocal ability. So this EP was released with the help of Arctic Monkeys producer Jim Abbas and co-writer Egg White, which I just feel like is just really cool fact. So Lying to Yourself is a song about talking to a partner about a relationship which has gone wrong or gone sour, and she pleads with them to basically to stop lying. And this song has this really kind of beautiful, again, like stripped back beginning. We're seeing a common theme with the songs I picked this episode, and it has that reminiscent of like 2010 ballads. And then in the chorus it kind of builds up to have added vocals, guitar, and it gives this fuller feeling like she's really like pleading with them or like telling them like stop lying to yourself. And really what shines the most in this song are her vocals. Her vocals are just freaking insane. Like on the chorus of the sing, lying to yourself. She has this like kind of beautiful open belt, which just adds this kind of pleading, and it's just absolutely incredible. And to talk about some of the lyrics that I love from this song, I know you've been hiding lately, but you've been doing so well. You've been acting a little shady. Did you think I couldn't tell? And I think it's like saying to her partner in this song, like, did you think I couldn't understand you? Like, I know you. Like, this kind of element of like, sometimes I think with breakups or relationships ending, you kind of know it's going to happen before it happens. And I think in this song, the partner she's talking about, is like, you're lying to yourself. You're thinking that we don't need to break up, but we probably do, or we need to talk about it. And this bit is what I love. Man, are you dumb or just confused to do those things you do? And I think that alludes to a sense of maybe infidelity, or maybe something going wrong, or that this partner is in the wrong, but this person's lying to themselves. And I also think this song can also be interpreted as maybe an argument. Like, you're lying to yourself thinking that you're in the right, but you're in the wrong and you know it. And then I love this bit, which is, maybe in a different time we'd be friends, learn to cut the ties and mend. But when all your promises are pretend, it makes it hard to love again. And I think this like is a beautiful part of the song. It's basically saying, I wish that we could just be friends because I love you. And I think in a lot of relationships, that love doesn't not go anywhere. That love, it stays with you. You always have, I think, always like, not you always have love for that current partner, but that love will go somewhere. And sometimes that love goes into another person. Sometimes that love just stays. And sometimes that love just goes back into yourself. And I think this song kind of alludes to learn to cut the ties and mend. Maybe in this relationship, they don't want to fully cut each other off. They still want to be in each other's life, just like at the beginning when Kehlani's talking about in their song about kind of like, are we folding or are we not? Are we going to continue this relationship or are we not? That's kind of the similar thing that Lily's doing in this song, where she's saying, you're lying to yourself, but like, I don't think I can, I don't know if we can really just cut the ties. Like, I think you'll always be part of me, and that just freaking sucks. And then the chorus is, lying to yourself, you keep lying to yourself, but don't lie to me. And so like, the kind of cutthroat, and just don't lie to me, because like, you can continue to lie to yourself, but don't lie to me. We know that we've got problems, and we know this maybe needs to be over. And the bridge is incredible, because when you talk, you don't look me in the eye. When you walk, you ain't walking by my side. And the tempo in this bit really, really, really speeds up. And she kind of has this back and forth, which is just incredible. Just somebody else you trying to please. And then she repeats that again. And I know what you're doing. I ain't stupid. Who you fooling when you keep on? So I think this is saying like more like a kind of, you know what you're doing, like why lie? You're putting me in pain, you're making yourself in pain. And then she has this gorgeous last chorus, which is like kind of like an explosion, and her voice just transcends in this moment. She just belts, and it's just incredible. And then and the song ends on, but don't lie to me. And I think that really sums up this song, and the reason like sums up the meaning of this song rather. Like, don't lie to me, don't lie to me, because I love you and I respect you too much, and I hope you respect me too much. Because not everyone knows that they've been in a relationship, lying is the freaking worst. Like, and the reason I put this song in this, and why I wanted to end with it, and why I put it in the breakup kind of episode, is because it's describing the kind of bit before a breakup. I think whilst the other songs are after the breakup, this is just before the breakup, where you're saying, we need to break up. Something is wrong here. Stop lying to yourself. We know we've got to have this conversation. And it's that painful bit before, which I think a lot of breakup songs don't include that. But actually, that's something that's so important and is part of the breakup canon. The breakup starts before the actual we're over happens. And that's why I wanted to include this. Yeah, and she's an incredible artist. Follow her on Instagram. She's got some concerts coming up, so if you can go make them, do go make them. She's absolutely incredible. And yeah, that was Lily Moore. So I hope you guys don't feel too sad from today's episode, which maybe bummed some of you out. This was the breakup episode. I really hope everyone enjoyed it. And we'll be back with another episode next week, because I was late uploading this one. And it'll be another talkative episode. So stay tuned on the Instagram and the TikTok to kind of see what that might be, with some helpful clues and maybe for your personal input. All the songs will be linked below in the playlist. below, and also the track names will be in the description below as well. You can also find our LinkTree, our Instagram, our TikTok, where to find us on Amazon Music, all that good stuff. Again, if you want to follow us, you can follow us at g.g.t_show. You can also follow me at k.moss. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music. You can watch it, you can listen to it. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, follow, comment on the show. Like, honestly, all your support means absolutely everything. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.